Hi, so there seems to be some positive news on the Lucy Letby front today. In the Telegraph there's an article in which the senior nursing manager for the neonatal ward of the hospital gives 15 reasons why Lucy Letby has not murdered any babies or not harmed any babies, basically. So I haven't been able to see this because it's online, but I'm sure someone will be able to access it, so do have a look at that article. Also Stephen Breary has been giving his evidence at the Thirlwell inquiry. So Lucy Letby, the case for innocence, that channel has uploaded Stephen Breary and also I believe Dr. Jaram, and it's really good that these channels are loading up content, so whether they're for or against Lucy Letby, because it is even Stephen, some of them are, some of them aren't, they are uploading the content, what people have said, either, you know, the actual people speaking themselves or you know, someone reading their words out. This is really valuable information. I appreciate all of those channels. Yep, this was Stephen Breary part 2, and I won't stay too long on that because I'm going to talk about something else really today, but it's interesting. A lot of useful information came out of that, and we did find out what the draw of doom actually was. So it was you know, the filing hole or the draw for irregularities, and it so happened that this was getting filled up with Lucy Letby stuff. So a bit of an explanation of what it actually was. That's helpful. So really I want to go on to a channel. It's called Lucy Letby, The Inquiry. This one is more towards Lucy Letby being guilty, but again it's one of these channels that uploads content, so it uploads you know, what people have said in court, what people have said in the inquiry, and this one was Dr. Jaram, so it's Lucy Letby, The Inquiry, Dr. Jaram, and a couple of things really that stuck out for me. So around about 1641 into that video, Dr. Jaram mentions that he first became suspicious when baby A died. Now it doesn't say whether he became suspicious of Lucy Letby at that point, but he felt it was a suspicious death. Also Lucy Letby, I think it was in the police interviews, she questioned baby A's death as well. She wondered, could it have been the bag, and I've done a video about that. So I do have some questions about Dr. Jaram. He's suspicious of baby A, so right from the start he has a suspicion, and as I've said before in another video, this timeline for, you know, the serial killer thing, it's really weird, and we have two people here right from baby A saying this is suspicious. Now I do not think Lucy Letby had anything to do with this. And I think Dr. Jaram is starting to point the finger, not necessarily at Lucy, but, you know, flagging this up right from the first suspicious death. And this is one also where he noticed the pink rash, but he never took a note of it. So I guess we only have his word for it that there was a rash. I think Lucy might have mentioned it, but Dr. Jaram has taken no notes. But yet this was the first suspicious death. And this is also the case in baby K. That was the baby where the alarms were sounding or not sounding, depending on which day of the week it is with him, because he gives different accounts of that. But baby K was the baby who was etched in his memory and will haunt his nightmares forever. He took no notes, you know, he took no clinical notes of baby K either, which, considering he felt it was a significant event and an unusual event, you know, you want to ask, well, why didn't you take notes? So around the 20-minute mark of that video, he talks a bit about baby H, and he says that he feels that Lucy deliberately disconnected one of the chest drain, or not disconnected, closed one of the chest drains. Did he take note of that? He says in that video, so this will be at the Thirlwell inquiry, he says that he noticed afterwards or during, or very shortly afterwards, that one of the drains was closed. Did he take a note of it? Now, what I'm noticing with him, which I do find a bit odd, because he's so inconsistent with his evidence, he is remembering some things in really, really precise detail. Now, Lucy Letby herself, she is detail oriented, she's routine oriented, she seems to be wired that way. But when she's been giving her evidence, now sometimes she's been referring to notes, but she seems to be very consistent. So she seems to remember roughly the same sort, the same amount of details and routines. But Dr. Jaram, he goes into this very, very precise detail whenever he seems to think Lucy has done anything. So very precise detail of what has happened with babies A, H and K, and there may be more, but these are the ones that I've heard him talking about recently. You know, he talks about baby A being mottled and having the pink rash, but doesn't make a note of it. He says that Lucy must have disconnected this drain, and he gives precise details of what he's seen. And in Baby K, he remembers, you know, what was on the monitors, and he does this little motion with his hand quite close up. So he's not consistent about this. It's only at certain times that he seems to remember these details, and he's going from like 0 to 90 on this. So that is something that sticks out for me, because of the inconsistency. And sometimes, you know, our memories vary of things. Sometimes people actually have more variable memories than others. That doesn't seem to be him, from what I've seen of the other footage, where he's got a more like normal baseline, if you like. But in this case, he's suddenly remembering very precise details, and this is not ringing true. It's almost like he's putting himself in that situation all of a sudden, and then obviously he can't remember other things. I do find this quite troubling. Yeah, okay, that's it for now. Please like, subscribe, and hope you enjoyed the video.